Hello, I'm Auntie. It has been so long since I posted a video, but I have a good reason. I have been working on this little masterpiece, a Lambeth stringwork cake for the Utah State Fair competition, which I won an award, by the way. But that's for a different video. This video is about a lovely country-style aspen tree cake. I start out by putting the cake base on my wheel and making sure it's right in the center. Then with a delicious layer of red velvet cake and cream cheese filling, I fill and stack the 6-inch cake. Now I'm applying a crumb coat with delicious chocolate ganache. And smoothing it with my bench scraper. And now I need to take off that little lip. This is an 8-inch cake. I am applying a final coat of ganache. And again, smoothing it with my bench scraper while my pottery wheel does most of the work. Now here I've used a little piece of mylar folder. It works great to make that top edge super crisp and clean. Then with my delicious homemade marshmallow fondant, if you'd like to know how to make it, I have a video. I droop it over the cake. Smooth it out with my hands and cut it off with a pizza cutter. With my 2 fondant smoothers, I press together the edge to make it nice and sharp. Now I'm going to use my airbrush. I'll put about 5 drops of yellow and a couple drops of brown, and that'll give me a lightish brownish color. And while I spin the wheel, I'll just be spraying the area so it looks like the inside of a tree. Then I'll use some plain dark brown just to add some darker lines to that. I'll do the same on the top. Then with a toothpick, I'm going to scratch a few crack lines in there and color it in with plain brown also. For the top, I'll do the similar design, except I'll go all the way to the center this time. I should have used my electric wheel for this too. This time I'm putting the cracks from the center and some from the edge as well. Spray those in with my brown coloring. You'll notice on some birch and aspen trees that the bark is not completely white. In fact, there's a lot of gray mixed in. So with my petal dust, I'm using a little white and a little black to make a nice gray, and I'm just dusting it on the cake. And it doesn't need to be in any particular order or organized. Nature is not organized. Now with the brown in my airbrush, I'll make those little scar marks you see on trees as well. Now here I'm taking off the very tip of the airbrush. I'm just going to flick the airbrush a couple times to make those black polka dot spots. So this is fondant that I've heated up really hot to make it liquid. I'm going to pipe it in a heart shape. This just creates a little relief. Because you'll notice when someone scratches a heart or their name in a tree, it bulges up around it. I just wanted to create that effect a little bit. So with a toothpick, I'm making the scratch mark. Rough up the edges a little bit there to make it blend into the other bark. Don't forget to scratch the initials. A little A, a little N, and a little L. I'll let you guys make up whose names they are. Then with my airbrush, I'll go in and color those cracks, make them nice and dark. Again, doesn't need to be even. You know that if you've ever scratched your initials in a tree, it doesn't come out as even as we always like it to be. Now I'm going to make it look like some of the bark is peeling off. I'm going to take my X-Acto blade and just barely under the surface of the fondant, I'm just going to slice it down in a jagged pattern. And then I'll roll that back just a little bit. And after that's done, I'll add some color dust and a little airbrush paint. I'm going to do that in several spots all around the cake. I love the outdoors. Making this cake reminds me of the mountains. Aspen trees are one of my favorite trees. I love that when the wind blows, the silver leaves kind of shimmer. As a kid, I went camping a lot. Now this is the 8-inch cake. I'm going to peel some bark on this tier as well. I've already added some straw supports into the bottom tier. Now I'm putting a skewer in just to connect the two tiers so it doesn't move around during transit. I'm also going to put some fondant glue in between there. And last but not least, the cute little modeling chocolate owls. If you'd like to learn how to make these owls, go to Zoe's Fancy Cakes. She's the one who taught me how to make them. Thank you all for watching, and keep an eye out for my competition cake video coming up. Probably not soon, it's gonna take a while. Bye!